right, gang, good to see y'all again. So I was at my house looking at some of my stuff that I accumulated over the last couple of years, and kind of was awestruck a little bit on what we've accumulated in the last couple of years of this channel. So over here we've got 3 World War II era stoves. We'll take a look at them in a little bit. We've got a Coleman 502 stove. You guys are getting familiar with this stove. I think it was a 425E that we recently picked up and we're going to restore. Got 3 different flat pack stoves, 2 Altoid stoves that I built, 1 cube stove, 2 gasifier stoves, one I bought, one I built, and another alcohol stove, and then my homemade hot tent stove. So yeah, we've accumulated some stuff over the last couple of years. Let's take a quick look and see what we got. All right, guys, we're going to start over here. Move this on this side. So we've got 2 Coleman 530A stoves. They're both made in 1946. I had to restore both of these stoves. I'm not going to light anything up today, but the canisters were complete garbage, so we cleaned them up. The stoves themselves did not work at all. As you've seen in previous videos, both of these stoves work. I'm not going to light them up today, but everything works on them. Both stoves have handles. For the cup and work on the pot as well. One of the stoves I have a simmer plate. I don't have one for this one. So both of these 520 or 530A stoves I completely restored and got them looking pristine again. So them are somewhere back in the videos. If you want to find them, you can go back and see the refurbish of them stoves. Then I picked up this old World War II 520 stove. 520 was a military version that had little feet on them to help for better stabilization. Other than that, basically works exactly the same as the civilian versions. The 530, which are these two, are the civilian versions. They started making them in 1946. This is a 1943 model, and this was a military version. The military version did not come with any type of slot for a handle for the canister. So that would have just sat up there like so, and you'd need a pair of gloves or something to take that off. So that's what we're looking at for that one there. Okay, our next stove that we'll look at is going to be the Coleman 502 stove. When I got this 502A looked like this. It was very, very clean, in great shape. But the canister, the pot and the pan looked terrible. They were horribly blackened, in terrible condition. So I polished them up, made them look the way you see now. This 502 stove comes with a pot handle, and it works on the top, which can be used as a frying pan or a dish, either way, or a plate, I mean. So that would be the 502A. We'll go on to our flat pack grills. This is a Skymac flat pack. You can see super, super tiny. I've used this a couple times now. This is a great little stove too. Put that down like that. We'll go ahead and assemble this quick for you. So the bottom just slips in like so. You got to get a side here. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Take the side. Just got little slots. It slides together. So that's the back. That's the side. Got another side here. I'm gonna step in here, make my life a little easier. And actually want to spin this around. Oh, geez, I had it together there, guys. I went to make an adjustment. Okay. So that is a Skymac Grill. You can see, you can load it on the front. I'll have that all the way down. It also has these for a top that can be used. Whoops, let me flip that over. They go corner to corner. And that's the make so you can put pots and pans on the top. So that is the Skymac Fold Flat Grill. Now we have the UCO Mini Fold Flat. Again, nice little case. And the UCO grills I've had for several years now, and I've used them like crazy. They are a great little grill. And also, guys, just to let you know, I'm not sponsored by Coleman or by Skymac or by UCO or anybody for that matter. So I'm just sharing you the products that I've used and I enjoy and that are in my collection. So in this UCO full flat, you can see how it goes together like so. You have a grill top. The grill top slides in there. Slides in there, and that's what it looks like with the top on. Like I said, I've used these two full flats so many times. They've taken a lot of abuse, and they just keep working really, really well. Next, we'll take a look at the UCO. It would be medium now. Used to be the UCO large, but now they make a larger size. You got UCO mini, medium, and then a large. Again, you can see the grill. These legs just fold down. They'll crisscross, and that opens up just like so. And then again, the grill goes on just like that. If you need to take the grill off and it's hot, you'll take this and just pick up the grill like so. And you can go ahead and set it back on. And I'll use an edge just to get it back in. So that's your UCO small or mini and the UCO medium. So then we picked up, what is this thing? The 425E from a, what do you pick up from? From an antique store. We picked up this 425E from an antique store, and I thought we were gonna have to completely rebuild it. But as you've seen in an earlier video, this thing fired right up. We do have some work to do. This is gonna be a winter project. I'm gonna completely clean this off, get rid of all the rust, repaint it. There's a hole in the back. We're gonna go ahead and patch that up, make this thing look good as new. So there we are, the 425E 2-burner stove. I've got the Red Camp alcohol stove. I've used this a couple times. All of these stoves we use several times, but the Red Camp stove, alcohol stove, I've used a few times. I'm not going to say I hate the stove. I'm not going to say I like the stove. Probably somewhere in the middle. It'll do. It'll get its job done. Next, we'll look at Altoid stoves that I made. So this one here, I actually have it set up so I can use. I got a little ferro rod in here. So I got 4 of these screws. They just set up just like that. Then I got this little wire mesh. So I set the wire mesh in there like that. Then you can put little sticks in here. And this is a wood burning Altoid stove. And basically your pot would sit on top just like that. And you could use that to boil water if need be. So that was one of the stoves, one of the Altoid can stoves that we built. Another Altoid can stove that we built is this alcohol stove. So I have a smaller Altoid can with wire mesh in here and fiberglass, and that's where you put alcohol in that. Then you'll take, same thing, we've got these Chicago screws. We put them 4 Chicago screws in. Put our alcohol stove in the center, light it up, and again, put your pot on there, and you can go ahead and heat up some water or potentially cook something. I've used this on a, what did we do? We found a beaver pond last year out in the woods and had lunch on the side of the beaver pond, and we used that Altoid stove on that outing. So far, yes, everything that we're looking at I've used except for the big Coleman stove. Well, this is a what do you call these, alcohol bricks or some type of gel brick. You put one in here, put a pot on top, again like so, have that burning. You have a way to heat up water or cook some food if need be. I picked this up from a sporting goods store. It was only a few dollars, maybe $5 to $7. Nice little emergency stove. Now we're going to get over to our gasifier stoves. So this gasifier stove was one that I bought off Amazon a couple years ago. It was just, I don't know, I know I spent less than $20 for it. I might have only spent maybe $15. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it's a little gasifier stove that I picked up off of Amazon. And I've used it a couple times now. And it works pretty well. It has a nice little carrying case with it. It has 2 different tops. It has the pot support like here. or a little grill top. So that's gasifier stove number 1. Gasifier stove number 2 that I built is this soup can gasifier stove. I used plumber's tape. Oh my goodness. I used plumber's tape and notched it for my pot supports. That way you can go ahead and put a pot on it, and it gives it a little bit of room for flames to come out the side. You can see when I built this, I left a little opening here so I can feed little twigs into it to keep the gasifier stove going. That's one soup can that I cut in half, cut off the bottom. And this one here, there's actually, and I don't even know if it'll come out anymore, there's a soup can inside of this soup can that I've got. There's holes around the top, a bunch of holes at the bottom, and then there's holes in here. So you got an inner wall and an outer wall to this stove. And that's what makes a gasifier stove work, is the heat inside the walls creates jets out the top and gives you a really, really efficient burn. And you can see that I've used this stove a few times as well. So everything that we're looking at here, I've used, except for, as I said, the big Coleman stove. Last stove we're going to look at is my homemade wood stove that I made for hot tenting. I got the basic plans from a channel called Far North. Oh my goodness. I think it's Far North Bushcraft and Survival, or Up North Bushcraft and Survival. Anyways, I got the basic plans from seeing a stove that he'd built. And that's how I ended up building this stove. So it was basically built out of galvanized metal. So I had to do a burn outside for quite a bit so I could burn all the galvanization off. You can see even on the door there's still some, but this has been burnt many, many times. The door opens up like so. I've got floor radiator grates for my to separate the bottom from the wood, so there's a place for ash to fall to. I've got 3 sections of pipe. I only have one here, but on the one section of pipe here, I did build into it a damper so I can control the heat to some extent in the tent. So yeah, so that is our collection of stoves. We've got over here 1, 2, 3, 4 white gas stoves. We've got 3 full flat stoves. We got 2 gasifier stoves. We got 2 Altoid can stoves, and we have 1 double burner white gas stove, and 1 homemade hot tent stove. So that's my collection, and I just thought it was kind of cool, all of the things that we've accumulated over the last couple of years, and the things that we've actually built to use or refurbished to use on this channel. So it's just amazing. When I first started doing videos, I didn't have a single stove. And then I found, I started finding stoves and refurbishing stoves and building stoves and collecting stoves and trying different stoves out. And in just 2 years' time, we've amassed, I don't even know, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've collected 14 stoves in the last 2 years of this channel. It's just amazing, guys. I really appreciate you coming along, checking out these stoves with me. If you like what you see, or you like this type of content, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you.